Is at it again, calling the bad economy the Bush recession. Really? After 18 months? We'll have a report coming up. But first, does the Obama administration have a plan to give illegal immigrants backdoor amnesty? A leaked internal draft memo written by officials at Citizenship and Immigration Services is sending shockwaves through Washington. What does it say? Joining me is Rich Lowry, editor of National Review. And Rich, you were the ones that broke this story, and I have to say that from experience, I'm a little suspicious of draft leaked memos coming out of the bureaucracy, so to speak, because they always have some sort of grain of truth to it, though the White House denies that. What say you?
Well, look, this is a memo that Republican senators have had some hint existed for a long time. Senator Grassley, the Iowa Republican, has been banging on the Obama administration for months over this, writing letters saying, look, I'm getting whiffs that there is some sort of plan to attempt administratively to impose a quasi-amnesty. They brushed him off. They, in effect, denied it, said, look, we would never consider such a thing. And here you have it in black and white in this memo that they are considering such a thing. And it's a stark vindication for Senator Grassley.
Well, who do you know who wrote it, and who did they write it for?
Well, it was written by 4 staffers in the Citizenship and Immigration Services offices for the director. It's quite a detailed document. This isn't something that someone came up with over a cup of coffee. It goes on for 11 pages and a lot of technical detail about what sort of things they can do, as the subject header of the memo says, to adopt administrative measures to achieve comprehensive immigration reform.
From a practical standpoint, what would that mean? That you would allow people to take a pass if they overstayed their visas?
Correct. It gets highly technical. There's something called deferral of action. There's something called parole in place. If you get down to the bottom line of all those, what they mean is you would bureaucratically wave people in and say, even though you are here illegally, we are going to give you a semi-official amnesty. Now, if they pursued a robust version of all these options, it could affect millions of people. Just to give you one example, this deferred action, they talk about how it could apply to the children of illegal immigrants who are eligible potentially for amnesty if something called the DREAM Act ever passes. It hasn't actually passed Congress. The memo says it could apply to 50,000 people. I don't know where they came up with that memo, because they're very reputable estimates. The DREAM Act could apply to 2.1 million people. And just, Dana, to give you an idea of the scale of that, the Reagan amnesty in 1986, my understanding is that applied to 2.7 million people in total. So this is a huge deal, and I think every American should be outraged about it wherever you are on immigration. Because 1, we are a nation of laws, and 2, we are a nation of laws passed by Congress. If you want to change our immigration system and achieve a comprehensive immigration reform or an amnesty, go to Congress and get them to change the nation's laws. This would be an end run around that.
Well, the White House has said that this is not their official policy, that they don't support amnesty. It did occur to me, and just in thinking about all that's gone on in Arizona, and how there is no hope in Congress this year of them passing a bill, and how the constituencies that helped President Obama be elected are disappointed with that. And I wondered what you thought of this notion that if the Democrats lose the House this November, or come close to losing it, do you think that something like this memo could end up being passed through executive order?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what's contemplated here. I mean, there's nothing secret. It's right there, again, in black and white in the memo. And what's so disturbing to me, Dana, I read this in the context of the Arizona immigration suit. And what the Obama administration effectively says in that suit is the laws as written by the Congress of the United States do not matter. Arizona is wrong to take those laws sincerely and seriously. All that matters is what the federal agencies decide to enforce or not. So this is, in effect, that suit is a huge administrative power grab, and this memo suggests they're thinking even more in that direction and thinking how they can impose their legislative wishes administratively through the federal bureaucracy.
Well, congratulations, Rich, on breaking the story, and people can read about it at nationalreview.com. And I thank you so much for coming in on a Friday night.
Thanks, Dana. Have a great weekend.
All right. All right, 2 days after a federal judge blocked Arizona's illegal immigration law, the state's governor, Jan Brewer, is getting some backup from Senator John McCain.
It is a federal responsibility to secure our borders, and I look forward to seeing and hearing about the lawsuit that's brought by the federal government and the Attorney General against Chicago, San Francisco, and other sanctuary cities.
Arizona Attorney General